Recording. Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Freedom Friday. So happy that you're here because you are also, and me, are in store for an amazing treat today with our special guest. I first want to say, before I introduce this amazing lady, what is this show all about? What are we here for? The whole purpose and goal of Freedom Fridays is to support you as the entrepreneur in achieving success in business and life harmony, because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is totally possible to work smarter, not harder, create time, money, and emotional freedom, stress less, strengthen our relationships, and lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum. And that's what it's all about. So I want y'all to give a warm welcome to our amazing guest today, Denise Garrett. Denise, we're so happy that you're here to join us today.
Thank you, Heather. Dr. Heather, it's so wonderful to be here. I always love spending time with you, as you know, and it's just a joy to be here and to be able to serve your community.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful too. I always love spending time with you as well. So let me tell this amazing audience that we have who is going to listen to this, what we're here to talk about today. So Denise is going to share with us some amazing wisdom on how to have confidence and courage in challenging situations. We know that there's so many challenges going on all areas of life right now for a lot of people. And these tips that she's going to share with us are going to be so crucial for us to be able to strengthen our courage and strengthen our confidence. She is the owner and the CEO of a company called Courageous Leadership Academy. And she's going to be talking about this confidence and courage that can be provided to get the spark needed to get the life that we want. So who is she? Who is she? Denise Garrett is known as the Courage Whisperer because she empowers people to blaze their own unique trail in life. From running in the burning buildings in her county's, she was the county's first female firefighter, to coming out as a gay in the family of religious and political conservatives. Denise discovered firsthand what it takes to overcome obstacles and challenges while being her authentic, passionate self. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share with you before we get into this. This lady is absolutely amazing. We were just talking about how a lot of times we'll run away from challenges or we'll run away from fires, and she actually ran towards them. So the stuff that she's going to share with us, I know is going to not only bless my soul, but also all of the souls that are listening to this. So thank you so much, Denise, for being here today again.
Thank you, Dr. Heather. I want to make it clear for anybody watching this that, you don't run into a burning building unless you have the right protective gear and hopefully a team there to support you. And that's an analogy for life too. When we're looking at the challenges we face, we need to make sure we have the right things to support us. And it's ideal when we have teammates, when we have people sharing the journey with us.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. It kind of goes into that part where I say, don't go the battle alone. Make sure you have support. And that's why we're here. So first of all, Denise, before we even get into the topic, what led you to be able to do this? What led you to start this this call to let people know about stepping into their courageous and confidence in this?
I think when I look at life, the one constant is change. And change can be scary for a lot of people. Like I'm thinking about the banks that just closed recently. And that is a scary thing. When your money's, your money's tied up into it, it's easy to get really scared when things start going wrong. And yet when we panic, it does not serve us at all. It doesn't serve us if we're a business owner. It doesn't serve us if we're the head of our family. It doesn't serve us if we're a single person living out on our own. Panic does not help anyone. I learned this definitely as a firefighter, but even further into my career doing other things. So when things are going to happen, life's going to throw us curveballs. And when we panic, it doesn't work. When we stay calm and we stay true to our mission, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but when we stay calm, that's the first step in mastering anything. It's staying calm no matter what's happening. And it can be hard. Like I'm thinking about parents, especially, your teenager comes home and ask you a question about, I don't know, let's just say, I'll share this story. He's like my nephew, and he asked me about condoms when he was about 9 years old. And I about had a heart attack on the inside because I was like, what in the world does a 9-year-old need to know about condoms? It startled me. But something in me knew if I came out of that panic place, if I showed it at all, he wouldn't talk to me anymore. And I wanted him to be able to talk to me. I wanted to create a safe space for him to talk to me so that when real problems came up, he had somewhere safe to go. I wanted him to know that. So I took a deep breath and I asked the question. I'm just curious to know, son, like, why do you want to know about condoms? Well, my best friend has one, but he got it from his brother. And then my other friend got one and from his brother. And one has ridges and one doesn't, and one's this and one's not. And I don't know the difference. And I want my own so that, I can be like them. So he wasn't thinking about having sex at 9 years old. He was just wanting to keep up with his friends, right? But remember, like if I had panicked, like that kind of reaction, he would have been scared and he would not have wanted to ask me those important things as he grew older.
Oh my gosh, Denise, wow, that is such a powerful story because I talk about, you see my sign back here, keep calm and live aloha. And a lot of times that's not necessarily easy, especially when we're reacting, we get triggered, right? That was a trigger. And then how we respond to it, this is the cool thing that we talk about in emotional intelligence. We can't control the things that are happening. And I love that you highlighted that the only constant is change, right? But we can control how we respond to it. So by you just being able to respond in this calm way to get clarity, because a lot of times we assume when the trigger comes, we just automatically assume what we think he's going to talk about. That's where he wants to go, but it went in a totally different direction when you were calm.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Oh, no, good. I also want to remind everyone watching that, remember, my mission was to create a safe space for him to talk to me when he needed a safe space, when he had those important questions or struggles. Like I wanted to be that person that he talked to, right? Not avoided. So that's what drove me to take that deep breath inside. Like my mission is to create this safe space for him so that he feels okay, he feels safe talking to me about anything, right? Yeah. So in order to create that space for him, I have to manage me and my reactions.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Now I'm so ready to hear about these tips and these strategies that you can share with us so we can all be able to better do that.
So it starts knowing what's important to you, what you're playing for in life. I know you have a beautiful daughter. I've had the pleasure of seeing her. I call her my little office buddy. I love her. She's just adorable. But like you have a commitment to her. You have certain things you want for her, certain things you want for her in her life, right? And so you have to stay conscious about how am I going to create that for her? And there are times when we have children, especially, or when we're interacting with other human beings, where there might appear to be a clash. And how we manage those moments can make all the difference in the world. Like take that deep breath. Remember the overall mission. And if your mission is to see your child grow into a happy, healthy, independently functioning adult, then it will, you can remind yourself to take those deep breaths and stay calm and aloha when things are coming at you that might appear to, maybe they're going off course, because you want them to have that life. So how can you best serve them in getting there? Panicking, getting triggered, which we're human, we're going to sometimes. But the more we do that, the less they'll come to us.
So good. So good. I mean, it's funny. When I first became a mom, that's when so parents who are listening, you can relate to that. We can so easily get triggered by our kids if they do something wrong or something like that. And it's just so cool because on this work of this journey of breaking free from all those triggers within, then I can be able to be in the present moment with them. So it's like, oh, it's not this collection of all the stuff that has happened, but it's what's happening now and how to be able to see that in a much more calm, present way. Because that's actually where a lot of the overreactions and the negative emotions and stuff, they stem from a lot of the past stuff that maybe we've experienced and all that. And so it's something that you're highlighting that I think is such a big, great need right now, because there is so much stress, there is so much overwhelm, there is so much chaos that's not only happening within people, but also families, our community. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
So that was a great one. That was a great one. What else?
It also applies to your business. So if you're the CEO or the boss of the business and you tend to get angry or cranky or overreact when something goes awry, like things don't go as planned, then your people don't feel that they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe coming and telling you things. So that's the problem, though. They need to tell you the stuff that you might not want to hear, because those are the things that could destroy your business, or that
Mm,
could highly impact your ability to be successful. So you want to create an environment where they can come tell you things. And it's hard because we all are trained in our world, like we're judgmental. We just are. We're human judging machines, and we have an opinion about everything. I like that. I don't like that. That's good. That's bad. This is how we're wired. And you have to be able to get to the successful level you want. You have to be able to start checking that. And it doesn't mean you're not going to do it. It means you notice when you're looking at someone and you're judging them, and you go, okay, wait a minute. Let me take a step back. Let me get really present to now. I like what Heather was saying. Let's get present to right here, right now. What's happening with this person right here and right now? Let's forget about the past. Let's don't make up stuff about the future. Let's be here now with this person.
mm.
And when we do that, we open up a space for communication at a level that we won't achieve otherwise.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I hope y'all are listening to. I know you're all listening to this, but this is just something that's so powerful, because a lot of times we can focus on what has been, and not having that clarity of what's happening. That can actually, sometimes we can destroy the very things that were the blessings and interaction, like you mentioned, for the future. So the way that we respond now will have such a huge impact on how we move forward. So that's so good.
Right. And sometimes we're going to face things in life. Like when I was my county's first female firefighter, I met with some resistance, and it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't fun. But in my way of thinking, my vision was to be a firefighter. My mission was to do everything in my power to be that and do it successfully. And yet I was stepping into a culture where there weren't that many women firefighters. And in my county, there were none until me. And so the resistance that I faced, I had to stay present in the now, and I had to remind myself of their history. Like this was something new. They'd never experienced it before. So I asked myself, what's their number one concern? Like if I put myself in their shoes, what's their number one concern?
Mm,
And in my mind, it was they wanted to make sure that I could save their life if their life needed saving. And they wanted to make sure that I was an asset to the team if we were out saving lives together and not a liability. Now, I don't know about you, but when my neck's on the line, literally from running into a burning building, I want to make sure that everybody's with me can do the job too. Like I want to make sure, like if I get into a situation where I need help getting out of it, I want to make sure my teammates can help me too. So I understood that. And so I did, instead of, getting wrapped around the axle about, well, they this and they that, and they picked on me. And it's easy to do. Believe me, I had some moments where I needed to have little pity parties. But for the most part, I would remind myself, I just need to show them that I can do the job, that they can trust me. I need to prove myself to them. And
mm,
I tell a fun thing happened as I did that. As they saw me in action, as they saw that I could pull my weight, the majority of my fellow firefighters, my brothers, the majority of them were okay. They were like, she can do the job. We're fine with her here. And then we got into conversations about playing to strengths and shoring up weaknesses. So for example, I was the one that you wanted in a small confined space because I was smaller than the rest of them, even with all my gear on. I wasn't the one you wanted when you needed brute strength, like maximum upper body brute strength. Whereas we had this other guy We call him Dwayne, Big D. Big D could turn a car over by himself.
Oh my gosh.
He was just that strong a guy. I mean, he was amazing. So when the job called for that, we needed Big D's kind of, strength. And when you needed a confined space, then you needed somebody more like me. So that's another tip when you're looking at your family or your teams in life, whether you're the entrepreneur or the CEO, whether you're the executive manager of something, look at the strengths of people and look at their weaknesses and play to their strengths. You can do this with your kids. It works really well.
Wow, this was so powerful. The one thing that I had heard was this beautiful part about trust. When you became that safe space, okay, first of all, you recognize, okay, what is it that is the perceived threat or perceived transition or perceived new? It's all new for them, right? And then you were able to recognize that and you became the safe space, which naturally created that better trust and environment for them to be able. So this goes into so many things about life, like you said, not just business, but also life is so on point. And that other part that you mentioned about highlighting strengths and highlighting the weaknesses, like there's strengths and weaknesses that we all naturally have. There's no right or wrong. There's no, it's just, and then, that's why I love this one secret that I used to share in a master class. When two worlds collide, create a new one, because each of those worlds have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and we're stronger together. That highlights that part that you were talking about, the support in the very beginning. So
love
good.
that. When two worlds collide, create a new one. Love it. Love it.
Yes.
We are much stronger together than we are apart. Absolutely.
In the Hawaiian word is lokahi. So the word aloha means so much more than I love you, hello, goodbye. And I share with some of my my hiring students, like the deeper meaning of aloha. But the L stands for lokahi, means united, so that we're all one. The differences that we have, they actually are beautiful. And so if we can break free from the assumptions, from the judgments or the resistance, and a lot of it has to do with what's coming to me is like not really necessarily heart wounds, but trusting, like open, like a lot of times we've gone through things, and especially challenges, that immediately wants us to close down, right? We immediately want to shut down. But what Denise is telling us is like, oh, lean into it and open up and be able to see maybe a bigger picture that you might not be able to see. And that is, the word is coming to me, is true empowerment, really. True empowerment.
Yeah, I think having your vision. So a lot of people don't really think about, like they can think about if you're in business, like, your business has a vision. And if you have a nonprofit, your nonprofit has a vision and you have a mission and they're used to that. But what about you as an individual? Like, what's your vision? What's your mission? How does that mission support your vision? And when we have that, like for me, it becomes a North Star. I can tell when I'm on track and when I'm not on track. And again, no judgment. I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to learn. That's the thing. Like I look at life like it's a learning opportunity. Everything. There's no failure. It's just learning. I think Thomas Edison was like this. I think he said I don't know how many times he tried to make a light bulb work, but he said, I tried, let's just say, 999 times to make a light bulb work until I found the one way to make it work. So he didn't say he had 999 failures. He learned each time. And that's where resilience comes in, that personal resilience, that self-reliance, that commitment to ourselves, that we're going to honor what that heart's calling is. And just use things as a barometer, like I'm on track or I'm off track. If I'm off track, I just get back on track. I don't beat myself up. That doesn't serve anything and no good purpose.
That's so good. So it's funny because in one of the recent episodes of Wisdom Wednesdays, I talked about that. There's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. There's only feedback. Because when we say we failed, it's like into the energy and it can be the spiral down. But if we look at the perceived failures as feedback or learning, then it's like, okay, how can we move forward? Right. And there lies the beauty, because in entrepreneurship, everything is an extension of all that we are. How we go is how the business goes. In life, everything is an extension of all that we are. How we go is how life goes. So that is just so beautiful. I want to hear, is there another, I feel like there's another amazing tip that you can be able to share with us on this topic.
I think one thing I would say is I think that in general, is our world is suffering from this crazy thing called not enough, not good enough, not enough. And we find ourselves in some doing crazy things to cure that or to try to fix that feeling. And I just want to say that it's something we were born into. And it's not like your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You were created fine. You're divine. You came from divineness, from divine love. And that there's a tendency to think that success looks a certain way and that we have to keep up with the Joneses. I'm sure people have heard that expression. And if that's not your heart, like that's not how you define success, you can live in the most expensive house on the planet, drive the most fancy car, have the most fancy vacation homes, and go to vacation there 6 months out of the year, and you'll still feel hollow and like you're missing something. So I encourage you to get very clear on how you define success, what matters most to you. And then don't worry about what other people think. Best thing I've ever been told by a coach in life. He was my mentor and coach for many, many years. And he said, Denise, if you're worried about people judging you, stop. They are. And so what? You're not here for them.
No.
You're here for you.
Oh, that's so good. It's so good, because a lot of times we can get caught up in those opinions of others. This is one of the common things I hear, the opinions of others, and it creates this conflict of who we really are. Like we can take on other people's perceptions of what we should be doing. But the reality is our soul, our mind, our spirit, it knows what to do. And when we step into our own uniqueness and shine and greatness, then it doesn't matter what other people think. And I think that's beautiful because our message isn't really for everyone. So it's just for the right ones. You can't please everybody. So for those of you who are like people pleasers or was raised that way, and I understand that, be kind. And it's awesome to be kind. And be kind also mostly to you and stand true to you. So therefore that can radiate out for the right people to come towards you. Oh,
yeah, and I know people worry about like, well, but if I'm my real self, then my friends will leave me and they won't be my friends anymore. And I'm going to tell you, if that's true, they're not your real friends. And the more that you embrace who you are and express it authentically in the world, the more you get your tribe, like your tribe. The people that stick with you are your people. And that's, I don't know about you, like I've said all for many, many years since I was a young kid that I would rather have a handful of really close people, close friends, than thousands and thousands of people that aren't my true friends. For me, it's not about popularity. It's about that closeness, that connection, that intimacy, that depth. And that's not everybody's thing. I'm not judging people that want to be popular. If that's your thing, again, it goes back to what's in your heart. What's in your heart. So, what's in your heart? Follow it, listen to it. It will guide you. I love what Heather said. Your heart will guide you. And it doesn't mean you're not going to face obstacles and challenges along the way. But I think we started the show talking about how to face that with confidence and courage. First of all, life can be scary. Relationships can be scary. We have this innate thing about fear of rejection. I think all of us have that. It's not pleasant when it happens. It stings, it hurts. And yet the clearer you are on who you choose to be, and the clearer you are on how, like your definition of success and your vision and your mission, it's easier to face those challenges with confidence and courage because you realize like you're here to share a message with the world that none of the rest of us can. And even if you use the same words I do or Heather uses, somebody can hear it from you in a way that they're not going to hear it from either one of us. So I really want you to get that. Like, you're here to do really cool things. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything stop you. Be you, be your authentic self, express it. You are going to face challenges. You are going to face rejection, and you're still here to do the really cool things you're here to do. So when you get that for me, at least, what drives me in life, the courage part, is just having that vision and mission. That's what helps me face things with courage. And I'm very clear on that. And it helps me when I feel the fear, it helps me lean into it anyway. Like Heather said, I ran into burning buildings when other people ran out. It's because I was very clear on my vision and my mission. Very clear. That's what gave me the courage. And the same thing can be true for you. Other thing that helps me a lot is the deep breaths. Not kidding. It actually changes our nervous system. It helps calm our nervous system down.
Everybody take a deep breath now.
Deep breaths really help. But those are just some things. Confidence comes with practice. So that means you got to get skin in the game. That's where confidence comes from. When I first started doing public speaking, I was terrified of it. And I used to joke that I would rather run into a burning building with no protective gear than to speak in public. And then I took a look at what I wanted to do with my career. And I thought, well, I got to get over that. So I went to Toastmasters for a while, and that helped some. And then I realized at some point, the best way I'm going to get over this fear is to just do it over and over again. And so at work, I worked in an environment where they were always looking for speakers, and I just started volunteering. Anybody need a speaker? Yep, I'll go. Even if I didn't know anything about the topic, I could brush up on it. And so I started doing that, and then I just got more comfortable. It's like I'm there to deliver my message, regardless of what the judgments might be happening, right? And when I stay focused on my message, I'm not nervous. When I focus on me and how I look and what people are thinking about me, I get really, really nervous. And that's true to this day. So I can tell when I'm getting in too focused on me and when I'm not, based on how I'm feeling in my body and in my heart and belly. So I recommend you can use those barometers for yourself.
Oh my gosh, Denise, this is absolutely amazing. I want everyone who's listening, put your biggest takeaway in the chat. I mean, because there were so many amazing golden nuggets in here. And then listen to this again, because seriously, let it be able to really delve into your soul. You can see why this lady is so amazing and a dear sister of mine, because of the wisdom that she has shared with us today and beyond. And I knew that it was going to be like great, and I just knew it just is even more amazing. All right. So tell us, how can we, first of all, biggest takeaway, like what is like probably one of the biggest nuggets that you, or like big picture, what would you like to leave us with today? You've already shared so much, but if we could, what would be kind of like the biggest takeaway that you want to leave them with?
I think what I would say to you is whatever you're up to in life, you're worth it. You're valuable. You have a unique contribution to make, and our world needs it. Our world needs you to make your contribution. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You were created for a divine purpose. So be you, let that light shine. Our world needs it. That was what I would say to you.
I love it. Thank you so much. And then how can we get to know more about you? How can our audience be able to connect with you?
Well, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. So look up Denise Garrett from Lilburn, Georgia. It's Garrett, Lilburn, Georgia. I have a Facebook business page, Courageous Leadership Academy. I have a website, courageousleadershipacademy.com. And just reach out and connect. I'd love to connect with you. If you go to my website, I have a free gift for you. It's called What's the Lifeline of Your Business? The Listening Difference. And it's free. You can just click on the link and you'll get access to it. It's been a pleasure being here, Dr. Heather. So I want to make a plug for Dr. Heather here. She has the best energy. She's full of wisdom. Every conversation I've had with her, she drops these, like, I call them bombs, like they're wisdom bombs. Boom, there it goes. So if you're tuning in for the first time today, do yourself a favor, tune in over and over and over again. And if you're already doing that, then you know what I just said is very true.
Oh, thank you so much, Denise. I love you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm just so glad that you were
Love
here
you
to
too, sister.
bless
Love you
us
too.
with your presence and your stage and your energy. And, this is why we do the show. This is why we do this. I bring you amazing, amazing entrepreneurs who are on the mission field and really can be able to share and support you. Because I know sometimes the journey of entrepreneurship can get lonely or can get like uncertain. Like everybody's telling you, go this way, go back to career. And you're resisting this calling that's trying to come out. Right. And what she has just shared with us, what Denise has just shared with us, are some amazing nuggets to be able to stand firm in that and be able to let your light shine. And now is the time. If not now, then when? And if not you, then who? I'm going to put Denise's information in the comments below. So make sure you go ahead and like her page and get connected with her, because you'll be so glad that she did, like I was. She can't get rid of me, even if she wanted to. Oh, this is so amazing. Okay, everyone who's listening, thanks so much for tuning in for another episode of Freedom Fridays. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and have an amazing weekend. Let this message marinate into your mind, body, and soul throughout the rest of the weekend and beyond. Thanks everyone for listening. Peace.